piece in your left hand.
Ah.
Yeah. Easier, one at a time.
Straight up.
One, two, or one?
Two.
Yeah, go two.
Just ID. Just come out from underneath me for a minute, please. Well, yeah, I think I'll take a couple and then after we'll stack them. Okay, here's another one.
Oh, sorry, that might chip your calf away.
Okay.
Almost sliced your calf open.
Most certainly get that bit of wood on. Check that it's going to work. And then see if it turns off. Okay. Leave him in the gap there. Another one.
Good afternoon and welcome back to the roof. I wanted to come up here this afternoon and just talk a little bit more about some of the challenges that we were having this morning with the hip ridges. I'm not sure how well it came across on camera because it was a bit fiddly, it was a bit stop-start, and some of the pieces involved were quite small, so I don't know if we got a good shot of those. One challenge that was probably fairly obvious was the more tiles that go on, the less space there is to stand and do the work that is needed. So that was definitely a bit of a challenge, but leaving some footholes definitely helped Theo get up and down the roof and across to all the areas that he needed to work on. But the fiddly work is all to do with the ridges and the ridge tiles that are going to go on eventually. A couple of days ago, they retrofit some battens on each of the hips, on each corner of the building, because that's what the ridge tiles will eventually be fixed down onto. Normally, when you lay ridge tiles, they're bedded in on a cement or lime-based mortar, but we're not using that. We're using something called a dry ridge system. And the idea behind this is it encourages more airflow around the timbers and you don't end up with a load of cement on the roof that might crack and let water in one day. But the challenge is getting all the battens that carry the ridge tiles in the right place and at the right height. And so that's where these things that I picked up the other day are actually going to come in handy. For a while we thought we weren't going to use these and we were just going to add like maybe 1, 2 or 3 layers of batten in different places to get up to the right height. But these things are adjustable, and so they allow us to kind of dial in with a little bit more accuracy exactly where the ridge batten is going to go. And these things have got some pretty long legs on them, which were getting in the way. So we've come up with this, which is essentially the same thing, but with the legs cut off, and it's been attached into a little piece of the roof batten. So this thing then sits down on the batten like that. A couple of pre-drilled screw holes fix it down. And then this thing can be adjusted to the right height based on a string line. And finally, one more batten will sit in there, fixed in place with a little screw. So there'll be a whole bunch of these brackety things on the piece of wood, all fixed down, that top batten running all the way up to the top of the ridge. And then it all gets covered with this, which is basically the smart part of the whole dry ridge thing. It's a breathable membrane. It's got some sticky stuff underneath, just like the beautiful flashing tape we were using a few days ago. So this will get draped over that whole thing and stuck down to the tiles either side. So no water will be able to get in anywhere. And then finally, the ridge tiles will sit on top like that. And these ridge tiles have got a little hole at the top for a screw that will go down into that batten. So it was a day of some fairly fiddly work. Lots of crawling around on the roof, lots of cutting of the tiles to fit into the gaps along the edges, along the hips, and then a load of thinking and problem solving to get these ridge battens into the right location. But now that all that's been done and we think we've got a good solution for it, the guys can just crack on tomorrow. And then hopefully we can get a couple of these hip ridges done tomorrow and then the rest of them the day after. So we're hoping to wrap this whole thing up by Thursday. We'll see how we go, but these things take as long as they take. And it's always worth putting in the time to think through the problems first before they arise later on and we have to start undoing and redoing stuff. Something that we have quite a lot of experience with. Anyway, that is it for today. We will see you tomorrow for another exciting episode. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye for now.